I'd come up to Dad's for Thanksgiving, and this started out as just a nice little leisurely drive to go out and explore some things that we hadn't seen quite a while. Unfortunately, this thing turned into a real Donnybrook as we got up here and we ended up getting on top of the mountain and lost our brakes. But really what we're doing here is we're running up to a survival camp that's up the head of Tule Canyon, and then we're going to climb up on Nonsuch Mountain and explore up there. We hadn't been up there in quite a while. It was a place we used to bird hunt. The scenery along this run was just breathtaking. You had cliffs, you had mountains, you had rocks climbing up out of the desert, you had outcroppings of rock all over the place, and you had some pretty neat, interesting ledge roads and trails to run. When we get up close to the survival camp, we end up running across a creek that's running. It's got water in it. It's amazing. You just don't see that right now. The desert is extremely dry. We're in a heck of a drought right now, and there's no water anywhere, but there is up here. Dad tells me there's a spring up here that really just runs year-round, and it's probably why the survival camp is up here. With water, of course, that's why these trees are up through here. It's just gorgeous back in here. The survival camp / school is run by Peter Bigfoot, and he's been out here since I've been in Arizona. He had this going back in '84 when I first came out here, and there's people that come from all over the country to learn how to survive in the desert using his techniques. Well, we've came to the end of the trail, and we're in the parking area now for the survival school. That road there in front heading off to the left takes you right up to the school. We stopped and took a few pictures of the surrounding area and the beauty that we saw while we were up there. Then we were going to head back down the trail and pick up a trail that'll head off to the top of Nonsuch Mountain. As you can see, once we got up on top, it got extremely rocky and rough. Not to mention the bushes hanging in at times got really close, brushing the side of the Jeep, and got us a little bit of desert pinstriping. From time to time, you're going to see what looks like a black hose laid across the road or running up the side of the road, and that's exactly what it is a black hose. It ties water tanks together, and it's how they get the water around for the cattle they put up here to graze on the open range. It had probably been 20 years since I'd been up here, and I don't remember it being this rough on the road. Of course, we never drove this far. We always were walking because we used to quail hunt all this area. Today we were committed to go all the way to the end of the road, but all of a sudden I noticed I didn't have a brake pedal. The blue line traces our trail we run today, and the red X shows where I lost my brakes. Now it wasn't a matter of running a trail. It was a matter of trying to get this Jeep off the top of this mountain. It was all I could do to get it stopped from running into that gate. I had to use the emergency brake to do that. Needless to say, I had a little bit of apprehension, but the only thing we could do was keep it in four-wheel low and ride the emergency brake if we needed to. We had to get her down to the pavement. Luckily, the road headed down the mountain wasn't near as rough as the one up on top, and the hills going down weren't that steep, and it really was a pretty easy drive. I don't think I had to hit the emergency brake once. Losing brakes on top of a mountain is something that you need to be prepared for, because it can happen to you. The brake line on mine got cut, and basically we lost all the brake fluid out of the master cylinder. 20 to 30 years ago, my mom was up on one of these mountains, and the same thing happened to her. She lost the brakes on her truck and had to bring it down the mountain the same way I'm trying to get this Jeep down now. Getting the Jeep to the road, though, is only half the problem. I got to figure a way to get it back to Phoenix, which is about 100 miles. Once we top this hill, I can see the road out there in front of me, which causes a big sigh of relief for me, because I know half my problem is solved. Now it's just a matter of getting the Jeep to Phoenix and it'll be done.